Okay, students, today our topic is ceramics. Ceramic is a compound formed by combination of metallic and non-metallic elements. Hence, metal oxides, carbides, nitrides, borides, and silicates are considered as ceramics. Some typical example of ceramic materials are refractories, glasses, abrasives, enamels, insulating materials, etc. There are exceptions to the above definition of ceramic. These exceptions include elemental materials called metalloids, called such as boron, germanium, and silicon. Intermetallic compounds such as nickel aluminide, which are formed by the combination of two metallic elements, are also considered as ceramics. Ceramic materials are generally characterized by the presence of more than one type of bond in a single material. Due to the presence of strong ionic and covalent bonds, ceramic possesses high hardness, brittleness, high melting point, chemical inertness, and electrical insulation. Most of the ceramic phases are crystalline in nature, but the structures involved are usually more complex than those in the metallic crystals due to the presence of atoms or ions of different sizes. In some ceramics, the atoms align themselves adjacent to each other, giving rise to amorphous polymerized structures. It is important to note that some ceramics exist in different forms of crystal structure and their properties are significantly changed due to the change in crystal structure. For example, boron nitride is a soft, friable insulating material in its hexagonal crystal structure, but but that is in cubic form. It is in the hardest materials ever known. Carbon is another example of similar structure. It is a hexagonal structure in the form of graphite. Graphite is a solid lubricant, and its cubic structure is in the form of diamond. So the first one to be discussed in ceramics is clay. Clay has been widely used for building, pottery, modeling purposes, and it is not easy to define clay precisely, as its definition varies according to the different fields. That is, under geology, it is different, under mineralogy, it is different, under chemistry, it is different, under soil science, it is different, under ceramic technology, it is different. It can be regarded by the layman as a kind of natural earth which becomes plastic and moldable when mixed with water, and it becomes hard on drying and firing. It is characterized by its fineness, that is the particle size about 2 microns, and it is derived from the weathering and decomposition of igneous rocks, or as a result of hydrothermal process which is associated with volcanic activity. Clay is composed mainly of silica, alumina, and water, and is often contaminated with an appreciable amount of iron, alkalis, alkaline earths. Clay often contain groups of crystalline substances known as clay minerals, such as quartz, feldspar, mica, etc. Clay minerals are of two types. One is kaolinite group, another is pyrolytic group. Clay in products. Clay is used to manufacture many structural clay products. Let me bring you the clay part. I think it is here. Okay. Clay is used for the manufacture of many structural clay products such as building bricks, structural titles, clay blocks, sewer pipes, and um, porcelain and enamels. These products are manufacturing by mixing, molding, uh, and pressing, drying, and firing. When firing is carried out above 100 degrees centigrade, the clay minerals lose their water of crystallization. About 550 degrees centigrade, iron compounds are oxidized to ferric oxides. And all carbon impurities are burnt out. Above 950 degrees centigrade, crystalline of mullite begins and glassy phase contracts, causing a severe shrinkage. This is how the clay products are made. The next will be cement. The term cement is used in construction field, applied to materials of calcium carbonate origin for building together fragments of stones, sand, bricks, etc. The term Portland in Portland cement owned its name due to the resemblance to Portland stone. After that, cement has set into a hard mass. The word mortar implies to a mixture of cement and sand, whereas concrete implies to mixture of cement, sand, and stones. Water must be added in order to make the mortar or concrete. Cement is manufactured by mixing the raw materials, limestones and clay in appropriate proportions. Let me bring you to cement part. Yes. And limestone and clay in appropriate proportion. The mixture is finely ground either by wet process or dry process, depending upon the nature of raw materials used. The ground raw materials are the ground raw materials. The nature of raw materials actually are fed into a large of rotary kiln. The kiln is heated gradually to a temperature up to 15 degrees centigrade, and the mixture undergoes successive chemical reactions. Sintering occurs at approximately 1300 to 1400 degrees centigrade, and the material fuses into small balls known as cement clinker. After the cooling, the cement clinker is mixed with small amount of gypsum and finally ground. The purpose of adding gypsum to control the rate of setting of the cement. The cement is ready for use. The next one will be glasses. Glass is the one of the most one of the oldest and most versatile material known to man. The term glass in its widest sense is used to describe particular state of matter known as glassy or vitreous state, which is obtained when a liquid cools without crystallization taking place. Therefore, glass is defined as a supercooled liquid. Glasses do not show changes like metals, ceramics, or even plastics on cooling from molten condition. Therefore, glass is considered as very viscous liquid when it is solid. So it has apparent physical properties of the solid such as brittleness, hardness, transparency, and chemical inertness. Glass is manufactured by mixing the raw materials in proper proportions. The glass raw materials include sand, soda ash, limestone, dolomite, feldspar, sodium sulfate, broken glass, etc. The mixture is melted by heating up to 1500 degrees centigrade. Some modifiers and refining agents are added to the melt. The melt can be cast, drawn, rolled to produce different shapes. There are various types of glasses which are already discussed here. And the next one will be refractories. These are the properties of glasses. Okay. Refractory materials withstand high temperature and possess sufficient mechanical strength, heat resistance, and retain a constant volume. They also possess reversible thermal expansion and resistance to thermal shock. These materials are used in furnaces either to support the heating elements or to which can be used at temperature greater than 900 degrees centigrade. Include aluminum, alumina, and other dolomites. And the last one as ceramics to be discussed is asphalt. Uh, Asphalt is a black solid material found as naturally occurring deposits. It is also produced from certain types of petroleum such as residual product. After removing the lubricating and fuel fraction, the after fuel fraction straight run is the most widely used asphalt produced from the petroleum. It is viscous material and it is used in runways and roads. When used this way, it is mixed hot with hot stone and poured on the rolled stone base. Yes, asphalt is mixed with fillers and pigments as it is used in flooring tiles. So these are some questions regarding ceramics. I think I should end here. So this is all about ceramics. Please study hard and stay safe. Thank you.